All right, let's get into it. And listen, forget everything you think you know about boring old grammar rules. Today, we're going to go undercover and meet the secret agents of the English language. Think about words like on, up, off, or into. We use them all the time, right? We barely even notice they're there. They seem so tiny, so insignificant. But are they?
Well, that's the big secret. These tiny words are actually the hidden architects of our sentences. They're quietly shaping the entire meaning of everything we say and write. Honestly, without them, language would just crumble.
So let's start with one of the most important groups of these little secret agent words, prepositions. The best way to think of them is like invisible glue that holds all the different parts of our sentences together.
It kind of sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? How do we actually show the relationship between these things? I mean, how do we know if the cat is in the tree or under the tree or maybe beside the tree? The answer, it turns out, is just a single tiny word.
And that word is a preposition. Its whole job is to show relationships. It connects nouns and pronouns to other words in the sentence, telling us where something is, when it's happening, or how it's being done. It gives us all the juicy context.
Okay, so definitions are fine and all, but let's see these words out in the wild. This short little story shows just how powerful prepositions are at building a picture right inside our heads.
You can pretty much see this whole drama play out, can't you? Later, a cat crept up the tree. Suddenly, the cat tried to pounce on the little green bird but crashed into the tree. Wow, it's an entire story in one sentence, and it's all powered by these little words.
So check this out. Each one of those prepositions creates a totally different image in your mind. Up tells us the cat's direction. On pinpoints the target of its pounce, and into, well, that describes the very unfortunate result of its little adventure. If you change just one of those words, you change the entire story.
Okay, so prepositions are words that show relationships. Seems pretty simple, right? But you know language. It just loves a good plot twist. I mean, based on everything we've just talked about, a word like off seems to fit perfectly in that preposition box. It shows a relationship like jumping off a wall. You'd think, case closed. But it's not that simple. And this, right here, is where grammar gets really, really interesting. Because in English, words don't always play by the rules we set for them.
Just look at this watch-out box from our source material. This is so important. It tells us that words can belong to more than one word class. They're kind of like actors who can play different roles depending on the script they're given.
So let's look at a few of these grammatical shapeshifters, these double agents, to see exactly how they pull off these quick changes. So let's take our word off. In the sentence, she fell off the horse, off is a classic preposition. It connects the action fell to the noun horse. But look at the next one. The horse reared and she fell off. Here, off is an adverb. It's not connecting anything, it's just describing how she fell. Same word, completely different job. And this happens with tons of words. A bat can be a noun, a thing you hold, but to bat is a verb. It's an action you do. Same exact word, two totally different functions. It really all just depends on how you use it in the sentence.
And this one illustrates the same idea perfectly. Bark can be the stuff on the outside of a tree. That's a noun. Or it can be the sound a dog makes. A verb. I mean, think about it. Two wildly different concepts all wrapped up in the same 4 letters. So after all these examples and these crazy plot twists, what's the one big rule we really need to remember? Well, it's actually simpler and way more powerful than you might think. Here it is, the key takeaway. Context is king. A word just floating by itself is basically unemployed. It's the sentence, the words around it, that gives it a role to play. It's the sentence that tells Bat whether it needs to be a thing or an action. So why does this matter so much? Because it shows us that language isn't some rigid, stuffy set of rules that you have to memorize. It's a dynamic, flexible system. And when you really get that, you can stop just memorizing definitions and start looking at sentences like a detective, searching for clues to unlock their real meaning.
So I'll leave you with this to chew on. What other secret agents are hiding in plain sight in your own vocabulary? Think about words you use all the time, like run or light or book. The next time you use one of them, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what job did my sentence just give that word? You might be pretty surprised by what you find.